If you're struggling to decide who should be your executor, you're not alone. I've helped thousands of families through this exact decision as an estate planning attorney, and today I'm going to show you the 3 best types of people to choose as your executor, and why making the right choice is one of the most important decisions in your entire estate plan. Most people spend weeks deciding who gets the house, the investments, or the family heirlooms. Then they spend about 30 seconds deciding who will actually be in charge of making all of that happen. That's backwards, because even the best estate plan can become a nightmare if the wrong person is in charge of carrying it out. Today, I'll walk you through the 3 people you should seriously consider choosing as your executor, why each one might be the perfect fit depending on your family, and what qualities actually matter, because the best executor isn't always the oldest child, the closest family member, or even someone who lives nearby. Let's get into it. The first person you should consider is the one who's simply responsible. Notice I didn't say the smartest. I didn't say the wealthiest. I didn't even say the person you're closest to. I'm talking about the person who gets things done. This is the family member who pays their bills on time, keeps a calendar, returns phone calls, actually reads paperwork before signing it. Being an executor isn't glamorous. It's a job. Your executor has to gather your assets, notify beneficiaries, work with an attorney, potentially file tax documents, pay creditors, keep records, and eventually distribute your estate according to your wishes. Think of them as the project manager for your estate. Imagine 2 siblings. Sarah is incredibly successful. She runs a business, travels constantly, and has meetings every day, and never has time for anything. Her brother David isn't flashy, but he's dependable. When something needs to get done, everyone knows David will handle it. Who would make the better executor? For most families, it's David, because reliability beats prestige every single time. The second person you should consider is someone who can remain calm when emotions are running high. Here's the reality. Your executor isn't just dealing with paperwork. They're dealing with grieving family members. Sometimes those family members disagree. Sometimes they argue over sentimental items. Sometimes they question your decisions. Sometimes they're convinced mom or dad would have wanted something different. Your executor has to navigate all of that without making the conflict even worse. Think about it this way. Imagine someone serving as a referee during the most emotional period your family has experienced. That's essentially what an executor does. Let's say your estate leaves equal shares to your 3 children. Seems simple enough, but then one child wants the lake house, another wants to sell it, the third wants to rent it. Now your executor has to manage those conversations while following your instructions and keeping everyone informed. Someone who stays level-headed under pressure can prevent disagreements from turning into lawsuits. The goal isn't to make everyone happy. The goal is to carry out your wishes professionally and fairly. That's a huge difference. By the way, if you're trying to figure out not just who should be your executor, but how all these pieces of an estate plan fit together, I put together the same type of guide I use to educate many of my estate planning clients. It's completely free, and you can download it using the link in the description below. It walks through wills, trusts, powers of attorney, healthcare documents, and many of the common mistakes families make before it's too late. Now, let's talk about the third person, because this one surprises a lot of people. The third person you should choose is someone who actually wants the job. This sounds obvious, but it's one of the biggest mistakes I see. People name their oldest child because that's what you're supposed to do. Or they choose their brother because he'd probably do it, but they never ask. Being an executor can take months and sometimes over a year. There are meetings, paperwork, court filings, phone calls, financial responsibilities. It's a significant commitment. Imagine naming your daughter because she's the oldest, but she lives across the country and has 3 young children, works 60 hours a week, and frankly, doesn't have the time or desire to take on a major responsibility. Because your younger son lives nearby, is incredibly organized, and would gladly handle everything. Who's really the better choice? The answer is usually the person who's both capable and willing. One of the best conversations you can have is simply asking, I'd like to name you as my executor. Are you comfortable taking on that responsibility? That one conversation can save your family enormous stress later. If you remember nothing else from this video, remember these 3 qualities. Choose someone who's responsible, choose someone who stays calm under pressure, and choose someone who's actually willing to serve. Notice something? None of those qualities have anything to do with birth order, or who loves you the most, or who makes the most money. Being the best executor is about judgment, reliability, and the ability to get the job done. Choosing the right executor can make administering your estate smooth and straightforward. Choosing the wrong one can create conflict, delay the process, and cost your family a tremendous amount of time, money, and unnecessary stress. But Just as important as knowing who you should choose is knowing who you should never choose. I cover the biggest executor mistakes people make and the people you should avoid naming in this video right here. I'll see you over there.